Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. So recently I've had some people ask me about my listing process. Because I work out of a storage unit and it can be really hot, really cold, I'm on my feet, I don't actually do my listing here. I keep all my unlisted inventory here, or death pile, in this back right hand corner, as you can see right here. And after I pack my orders for the day, I'll pull items out of the pile. I will take photos and then make notes on a clipboard, on a little spreadsheet that I made, of important information that's going to go in the listing, as well as the weight of it once it's in a box. So I kind of figure out how much it's going to weigh with the box, and then what size dimensions box I'm going to put them in. Then I take that home, that clipboard, and I list. When I'm hanging out with my family, watching TV at night, that's when I get my listings done. Here's an item that's sold. It is a goose, little kind of country style ornament or wall hanging decoration from 1987. It's made out of resin. As you can see, it's had some damage. It looks like it was cracked in half at one point and put back together, and the geese are missing their feet, but for $1 it was worth picking up, and it sold for $9.95. Of course, I mentioned the damage in the listing. So yeah, the photos and the clipboard go home with me, and I can just relax and do my listing at home when I'm comfortable, and a lot of times I just turn those listings into drafts. Our next item going out is a pair of vintage glasses. You can definitely see someone's grandma wearing these, although I think for younger people these are coming back in style as well. They are made by the company Tura in Japan, and definite vintage item here. I paid $1 at an estate sale. They sold for $19. So like I was saying, when I make those listings at home, most of the time I'm not actually publishing them. I'm making drafts. I like to have a nice big fat bank of drafts, usually between 50 and 100. So if something comes up, I still have listings to publish to eBay, even if I can't actually do the work. We sold this vintage Otagiri sailboat and lighthouse mug from 1983. It's the same age I am, and it's in much better shape than I am, I think. I paid $1 at an estate sale. It sold for $11.01. And people ask how I calculate my shipping. I do use calculated shipping. I pass my discount to the buyer, so they are getting the lowest price shipping they possibly can because they are paying what it actually costs. I actually measure and weigh every single item and add a few ounces for whatever the packaging is going to add. We sold this vintage 80s Kelvin Cupid doll trinket box for $10.17. I picked that up for $1.99 at an antique mall. So let's use this next item as an example. We sold a plush doll. It's actually a Durham Bulls mascot. So the movie Bull Durham, that baseball team, yeah, it's actually the North Carolina Durham Bulls. And I found this little dude at the bins. He weighs maybe 4 ounces, really light, even though he's kind of large. So I paid roughly $1 for him. And he is going to go in a 12 by 8 by 6 box, which weighs roughly 6 ounces, and he weighs 4 ounces, so I put a 10 ounce weight on my eBay listing. And then of course the dimensions of that box. Oh, and he sold for $10. Not bad for a bins pickup. Now we have this book going out. It is a Haynes repair guide for Dodge and Chrysler minivans. I paid $1 at a yard sale. It sold for $21.21. Now with books, I actually use medium mail, which is nice because it's like one rate for £1, another rate for £2, and so on and so forth. So the weight and dimensions of that usually don't matter. If they get super large, they can matter, but definitely love medium mail, especially since Ground Advantage has taken its last increase. It is the cheapest way for most items to send out. And so when I make my little notes to do my listings later on, I make sure I put an M next to the item so I know listed as medium mail. Now, here's the only exception. I use calculated shipping with the exception of stickers and patches. Those go in an eBay standard envelope, which cost me 74 cents. I paid 20 cents for these Virginia stickers. They sold for $9.90. And so on that package, I am going to end up losing 74 cents off that $9.90, but it's definitely worth it. The profit is still there. And they're super easy to ship when you just throw them in an envelope with a little stiff piece of cardstock. That is the only kind of free shipping I offer though. I don't want to mislead buyers into thinking shipping is free, so they have to pay the shipping on the items. Now we have a vintage Easy Piano Righteous Brothers Unchained Melody sheet music item, and I paid $1 at an estate sale. It sold for $6.95, and I love that song. Who doesn't love that song? It's an absolute classic, and it makes me think of my dad. All right, and our last item going out is a lightweight item. It is a set of salt and pepper shakers. I got these at a highway sale last year, and it was like the second or third day of the sale, and the person was doing blowout prices, so I picked up a bunch of salt and pepper shaker sets for 50 cents a piece. And these little plastic Sterilite mid-century looking salt and pepper shakers sold. One has a Jamestown sticker on it, so I don't know if it's actually a souvenir item or not, but I paid 50 cents, they sold for $7.95. So all of these items cost me $5.44 and sold for $106.14, and they were all photographed here in my studio, but listed at home. Now I gotta take some more pictures so I can stay ahead. We'll see you soon with another video of what's sold.